Hello and welcome, Exiles. Now, there's a lot of cool things we got in the announcement for Forbidden Sanctum, but there's one thing that stood out to me is that's just nutty. That's just broken. And that's this Flask. Ben makes some pretty good uniques. This takes the cake for probably one of the strongest uniques that the game has seen in a long time, if the way I'm thinking it works is correct, which is basically you combine this with Petrified Blood, and if they're damage taken going to damage over time, if that is additive together, you can get pretty dang close to 100% of the damage you taken as going at you over time for 4 seconds, which means you can counter basically any hit damage you take with just a little bit of recoup investment. Not necessarily a little bit, you'll want to get a decent amount of recoup, but moral of the story is this thing gets nutty in terms of your character basically can become immortal to one-hit mechanics. The concept is pretty simple. You have Petrified Blood, which you can get up to 40 to 45% of your damage taken is basically taken over time instead of taken directly to your HP pool. Then you add in this Flask. It says 25%. You think 25 plus 45, that only gets us to 70. But wait, there's more. This Flask, as far as I understand, is probably going to be modifiable by Flask effect. And if you do a little bit of number crunching and you look at how much Flask effect you can get on the tree, I wrote some stuff down here. I probably missed some stuff. It's been a while since I've done a build where I've stacked Flask effect. I remembered a little bit from when I did it like a year and a half ago or I forget how long ago. But moral of the story is I did a quick little glance through where you can get Flask effect, and I came out with the number of you can get roughly around 122% if you're speccing a Pathfinder. If you don't spec a Pathfinder, you'll get less. But my point is, you take something like this Flask with 100% Flask effect, and you're going from taking 70% of your damage as damage over time to taking 95 to even close to 100% of the damage you take as damage over time, which means if you have that number plus the same number in recoup, a damaging hit that could hit you for 1,000,000 damage will not kill you because the damage over time will get completely negated. This thing is nutty. But that's the one linchpin is, does that damage over time, does it stack additively with Petrified Blood? You know, I look at the wording, everything about this says this is the same mechanics as Petrified Blood. I'm pretty sure even in the preview when he mentioned the item,
by Ben and drops from the Uber Maven. It's a defensive flask that grants a mini version of the Petrified Blood effect.
Mini version of Petrified Blood effect. I could be wrong, but the way this thing reads, the way it sounds, this thing could just be insane for basically making you nigh immortal to any hit damage in the game, which is crazy. Granted, you're still going to have to survive, you know, degen, stuff like that, but if you're already investing in all this Flask effect, you throw a Life Flask in your build, and that's a crazy amount of sustain with whenever you're running over degen ground, you just pop that and you're probably not going to die to degens either. To me, this thing is it's just out of this world crazy. Not to mention, you add in the fact where you could get more recoup than you have of damage taken, which means every single thing that hits you actually makes you generate life. This could be the next level to Ward Loopers to an insane extent. You throw this on a Ward Loop build, and you have a character that is inflicting incredible amounts of damage to themselves, but it's only giving them net sustain. Forget about it. This thing is insane. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But if I'm right, this is one of the most broken items PoE has seen since, you know, Mage Blood, probably. And honestly, the fact where it can literally make you immortal to hit damage, if you get the Flask effect for it, like, you don't have to invest into life passes on your tree. You don't have to invest into any level of defenses anywhere because you're getting like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Let me know if you think I'm crazy and it probably won't work this way, but I'm thinking if this works the way I think it is, this is just an insane item. There's so many other things I want to talk about the league announcement, but I'm going to make those in later videos. This is just the one I wanted to cover first because it's the most crazy, like, seems seemingly powerful to me. And I want to get other people's thoughts on it. There's probably some stuff I missed in terms of Flask effect here. I wrote this stuff down. This is just the stuff I come up with off the top of my head. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching, Exiles. Take care.